2025 was an absolute heater for anime. Solo Leveling had everyone grinding levels with Jinwoo. Dandadan unleashed pure supernatural chaos. Sakamoto Days brought non-stop Hitman mayhem. And Demon Slayer Infinity Castle shattering box office expectations worldwide. Everyone's been talking about the blockbusters, but what about the shows that slipped through the cracks? The quiet standouts. The ones that didn't scream for attention but stuck with you anyway. The anime you scroll past now and regret skipping later. That's what this video is all about. Today we're diving into 6 underrated anime from 2025 that you probably slept on. But if any of these click with you, they really click. So let's jump in. Starting off with one of the funniest and most unexpectedly wholesome twists on isekai you'll see this year. From bureaucrat to villainous, Dad's been reincarnated. A 52-year-old overworked salaryman gets the classic truck-kun treatment. Only to wake up inside his daughter's otome game. Not as a hero, not as a love interest, but as the villainess. Frilly dress, noble status, doom flags included. Here's the twist that makes it sing though. He has absolutely no idea what the plot's supposed to be. So instead of scheming or seducing, he does the only thing he knows how to do. He runs the role like a middle-aged dad who's spent decades in corporate Japan. He manages the budget responsibly. He resolves conflicts efficiently. He scolds children in only the way a disappointed parent can. And every villainous action somehow turns the entire kingdom into a better place. The comedy comes from the contrast. You've got dad jokes echoing through ornate ballrooms, and a complete absence of romance drama because this man has zero interest in flirting with teenagers. He's here to do his job properly and maybe get home before dinner. What really elevates it though is the heart. Beneath the chaos is a story about parenthood, responsibility, and what it means to care for people, even when you don't fully understand the world you're in. The otome setting becomes a playground for warmth instead of rivalry, and the usual villainous tropes are gently dismantled rather than mocked. This one flew under the radar because villainous animes are everywhere right now, but this one feels genuinely fresh. It's funny without being mean, clever without being smug, and surprisingly sincere for a show about a dad stuck in a funny dress. If you're burned out on isekai power fantasies or melodramatic romances, this is the perfect palate cleanser. Stream it on High Dive. Go in blind and enjoy the wholesome chaos. Next up is a show that doesn't care about reincarnation, destiny, or saving the world. It just wants to exist loudly and unapologetically. It's City the Animation. This feels like Kyoto Animation cutting loose and letting instinct take over. No grand hook, no high concept gimmick. Just a quirky college town overflowing with strange and daring people living slightly sideways lives. The structure is loose by design. Short, absurd vignettes bouncing between students, shop owners, neighbors, and background characters who somehow steal entire scenes. At first it feels random, but the longer you sit with it, the more it settles into something warm. Friendship, nostalgia, missed moments, and that quiet joy of doing absolutely nothing important. Visually, it's ridiculous in the best ways. Loose, expressive line work that bends, stretches, and expands with personality in every shot. A burst of saturated color, even hints of stop-motion energy. Every shot feels alive, like the animation itself isn't on the joke. What really sets City apart, though, is how effortless it feels to watch. There's no plot pressure, no emotional whiplash, no need to remember who's who. It's the kind of comedy that lets your brain unclench. You laugh, you relax, and suddenly you realize you've been smiling the entire time. It slipped past a lot of people thanks to bigger sequels dominating the conversation, but this is Kyoto Animation at their most playful. If you want a slice of life that's funny, chaotic, and easy to sink into, don't sleep on this one. Stream it on Prime Video. This one isn't just funny, it's absolute comfort food. Alright, let's swing hard in the other direction. Clevatess starts fast. 13 heroes, led by the idealistic Alicia, storm the domain of one of the 4 lords of the dark beasts, fully convinced they're about to save the world. Instead, their recklessness triggers a catastrophe. Clevatess easily defeats them and then retaliates brutally, erasing the kingdom responsible and setting humanity on the brink of extinction. Then comes the twist that kinda hooked me. One survivor remains. An orphaned baby. Rather than killing him, Clevatess takes him in, names him Luna, and decides to raise him as an experiment to judge whether humanity deserves to survive at all. To observe humans up close, he disguises himself as a fragile man, limiting his own power. And to help raise Luna, he resurrects Alicia as an undead servant. Monster, fallen hero, and innocent child, a deeply uncomfortable trio. It completely flips the Slay the Demon King trope. The monster isn't the final boss, he's the judge. And the story lets ideas about redemption, worth, and human failure unfold naturally through its world. The animation is gritty and atmospheric. The action hits hard, and that double-length premiere does an incredible job setting the stakes. Dark fantasy like this doesn't always break through when big shonen and isekai dominate the conversation, but if you want depth, character growth, and no easy answers, this one stands out. It's wild how under the radar it stayed despite strong reception. It's all on Crunchyroll now. and it's absolutely worth your time. Now let's rebound into something completely different, but just as sharp. Sanda. This might be fall 2025's wildest sleeper. It was created by Paro Itagaki, the mind behind Beastars, and yes, it is exactly as strange and bold as you'd expect. The setting is a near-future Japan, where birth rates have collapsed so badly that children are the most valuable, protected, and monitored assets on Earth. Childhood's regulated, freedom is limited, and Christmas, it's completely erased. It's been banned, forgotten, and treated like a dangerous myth. Enter Kazushige Sanda, a middle schooler just trying to survive school life, until one morning a classmate straight up attacks him. Why? Because she's convinced he's descended from the most dangerous figure of all, Santa Claus. From there, the show explodes into action satire. Santa mythology gets twisted into something feral and heroic at the same time. Over-the-top fights, ridiculous power awakenings, and beneath all the chaos, sharp commentary about what happens when a society tries to protect children by controlling every aspect of their lives. Sanda's power awakens, not to dominate, but to protect children from the very system built to safeguard them. Friendship, rebellion, and genuine emotion sit next to absolute absurdity. And somehow, it works. Animation-wise, Science Saru absolutely shows off. Fluid, kinetic motion, dark, stylized energy, and the same bold visual confidence you'd recognize from Dandadan. Every fight pops, every reaction lands. It flew under the radar thanks to massive sequels crowding the season, but this is peak Itagaki weirdness. Funny, unsettling, heartfelt, and way more thoughtful than it has any right to be. If you want something bonkers, bold, and secretly meaningful under all the absurdity, stream Sanda on Prime Video. It's a genuine 2025 hidden gem. Don't sleep on this one. Next up is one of those shows that looks like total seasonal filler at first glance. From Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman. The setup is simple. A middle-aged sword instructor from a tiny rural village gets dragged to the big city by his former star pupil. Writing him off as just another humble old man who'd never made it big. And then the fights start. Because it turns out, he's not just skilled. He's absurdly good. Effortlessly dismantling elites, outclassing prodigies, and casually proving that experience matters more than reputation. On paper, it has all the red flags. Power fantasy, overpowered main character, comfortable production values, fun but familiar action. But then it surprises you. Underneath the popcorn sword fights and relaxed pacing, this is a genuinely heartwarming story about effort over raw talent, mentorship over ego, and the idea that it's never too late to step in the life you thought you'd missed. Barrel's self-deprecating attitude, quiet confidence, and the way he lifts up the next generation, instead of chasing glory, makes him incredibly easy to root for. Especially if you're past your 20s. It didn't make a lot of noise when it aired, because it doesn't scream must-watch. But fans who stuck with it call it one of Spring 2025's biggest surprises. If you want a power fantasy that actually feels earned and has real heart, this is a hidden gem. It's streaming on Crunchyroll and Prime Video. Go give it a shot. Let's wrap up our 2025 hidden gems with a truly slept-on standout. Tasokare Hotel. This is a hotel that exists in limbo, forever stuck in twilight. No day, no night, a place suspended between life and death, where people end up when they can't decide whether they're ready to move on or return to the living world. Our protagonist, Niku Sukahara, wakes up here with complete amnesia. She doesn't know who she is or how she died. Guided by the hotel's quirky staff, she's assigned a room and slowly begins helping other guests recover their memories through clues hidden in the decor and their surroundings. At first, the show feels episodic, cozy, almost like a mystery of the week. But if you stick with it, around episode 3 or 4, the story begins to connect, and the hotel's true nature starts to surface. What seemed gentle becomes quietly heavy, and the emotional weight sneaks up on you. Nico carries the show. She's cute, deadpan, and hilariously unflappable, reacting to eerie situations with dry, grounded humor. That contrast against the bittersweet atmosphere makes the series easy to watch and hard to put down. It's a faithful game adaptation with shades of Death Parade, thoughtful, atmospheric mysteries about regret, identity, and the choices that we avoid, wrapped in soft twilight visuals. Fans who found it called it criminally overlooked. Solid writing, a unique premise, and a tone that rewards patience instead of demanding attention. If you enjoy slow burn mysteries with heart, or cozy horror that lingers after the credits roll, you can binge all 12 episodes on Prime Video, or for free on the It's Anime YouTube channel. Don't skip this one. It stays with you. And there you have it. My top pick for 2025 anime you probably overlooked. These hidden gems flew under the radar, but trust me, they are worth adding to your watch list. Drop a like if you enjoyed the roundup, anime you probably overlooked.